Hello Stampers, this is super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. Thanks for joining me today while you watch me demonstrate making this hand stamp greeting card. It's part of my presentation for Woohoo Weekend, February 2023, which is held in a private Facebook group. I could not demonstrate live, so I decided to do a YouTube video instead. So let's get started. My featured product is the Share a Milkshake stamp set and coordinating die bundle. We are going to do some stamping first. So I have 3 scoops of ice cream and a spoon and also the words to stamp. So I am just going to bring in my scrap pile and stamp a few of those items. Let's see if any of these will work. I know I can get a spoon off of one of those at least. So I'm using the Smoky Slate ink pad for the spoon. Yep, that one will fit right there. That's the only one I will use in the Smoky Slate. And then I need to do 1 Poppy Parade and 2 of the Pacific Point. So let me see if I can fit. Nope, none of those scraps are large enough. So those are going to have to be put aside. I will have to stamp on this larger piece. I'll bring this a little closer to me so I can see what I'm doing here. So I need 1 of those, 1 in Poppy Parade, and I'm going to take a moment and clean that off. My next ink color is the Pacific Point. So I need 2 scoops of that. Let's bring this over so I can see what I'm doing again. 1 scoop, 2 scoops. All right, now I'm going to set that aside. And we'll bring in our strip right here. So we need to stamp the Celebrate. I'm going to step you through what I did here. Now the embossing folder comes from the dual package, the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder. They're this smaller size, so it doesn't fit a card front. And I did a kit where I only embossed part of the front and had to cut it off. So this is what was left when I cut off that side piece right there. And instead of having it sit in my scrap pile, I decided to use it. It adds some nice texture. So this measures in Imperial 2 1/8 by 5 1/4, so exactly half of the card front in Imperial. And then for the metric, it's 5 by 14.4 centimeters. And since it's a little bumpy, I need to make sure I press down pretty hard so I get the full ink transfer into all those grooves. There we go. Celebrate. All right, we're done with the ink pad. I'm going to cover it up. Again, that was Pacific Point. Get rid of my paper piercing mat and start bringing in some supplies here. The inside of my card, I decided, since I'm using the Celebration Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper, that I'm going to line the inside of the card and the outside of the card with that layer. So I cut 2 of these. It's got this light rich raspberry, blackberry bliss tone flowers on the other side. And this blue toned reminded me of waffle cones. So I have 2 of those cut. And they are cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Let me do both of them. Or 10 by 14.4. And then my inside piece is just whatever you use for that inside layer. Mine is 1/6 of an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of basic white. So if you're in Imperial, you can certainly cut your standard cardstock down to 6 pieces equally. and not have any waste. And that gives you a little bit of this blue waffle looking pointing out or sneaking out. All right, next will be our layer. That's partially embossed. And I'm going to put it off to the left there. And then through the magic of television, I do have some pieces already die cut. So using the distressed gold specialty paper, I cut our waffle. So that's what the waffle cone die looks like. And we just fold those back. And since you're covering all this up, it really doesn't matter how you attach that, this way or this way. I will attach it this way, that way it makes it a little more secure. And then, oh, the crosshatch, already die cut in the basic white. So that's that one right there. Adding a little bit of interest. Pulling in the white tones. Centered that, not centered, I kind of angled that a little bit for a little bit more interest. And then we do need to adhere these sides down. And then one run through the whole thing. And then I will make that waffle part straight. But I see I did a little bit of trimming. A little bit of that edge sticks off. I didn't like that because it's white. If it had been gold, it would have kind of blended, but it didn't. So cut that little piece off. Cover up all the adhesive that you added. And then also through the magic of television, I have these pieces already die cut. All right, so here's that die cut spoon. Now the scoop die cut actually makes a slit for the spoon. And I only wanted one slit. So I actually used my paper snips and fussy cut out two because I didn't want that slit there. All right, so that's how I got around that. And this one with the slit's going to be at the top. So I'll just start layering up the blue raspberry with a regular raspberry. And then the spoon will tuck in the slit. And I will run some adhesive on the back side of that spoon to keep it anchored. So there's that. I see that. I should have moved everything over a twedge. Let's do that. Let's try to do that at least. To have it centered. Okay. Now inside we did the 3 hearts. 1, 2, 3. Now I think I actually might do something a little different because I have adhesive right here. I need to cover up. We're going to put one big one there. How about 3 on the front? You'll get to see 2 versions. And this heart pattern paper is from the Country Florals pack in the mini catalog. There's little white hearts on it. Okay, now bow. This is what I have left of this Starry Sky woven metallic ribbon. We're going to do bunny ears for bow. We are going to do a small one. And this ribbon, since it's an open weave, it's not the easiest to bow, but it's okay. We'll work with it here. It won't be the neatest looking bow if you tried to do small loops. Let's put it that way. But, ooh, I pulled the wrong one. there. Find the center wraparound thingy. So just like with any kind of bow, you just kind of zhuzh it. You kind of pull one loop and pull the tail, and eventually it kind of comes around and forms a nice little bow there. Okay, now the left one is stressed, so let's just do it to the right one as well, so it looks like it should be like that. All I'm doing is kind of moving it between my fingers. Then attach this with a glue dot. And where are we going to put this? At the top? At the spoon? At the spoon? Nope, don't like it there. How about in that bow, in that heart? Now, I've got some embellishments here. These are from the 2022-2024 in color dots, and my packages that I have left are all cut up. Not all the colors are here. There were 2 colors of blue, the green, and then the shades of this poppy and sweet sorbet. So now that I've done something a little different, let's do something a little different with those dots. I put one little dot in the center of the bow. That's going to be a little bit too much down there. So why don't I put the dots on the inside? And one big one and 2 of the smaller ones. Cute. I like this version too. Just a little different. I needed to cover up that adhesive at the bottom. So my sample card and the one I just created with you. Again, remember that if you don't want a slot in your scoop, you just will have to fussy cut those scoops and not put it through the embossing and die cutting machine, because the die cut makes a little slot for the spoon for you or for the straw. All right, so I'm going to clean this up and we are going to do a little catalog tour. The stamp set and the die set that I'm using is from the January to April 2023 mini catalog. It's on page 12. It is the Share Milkshake bundle. There is a bundle price, so make sure if you make a purchase that you use that bundle item number so you get 10% off the individual prices. And the DSP, which I failed to mark because it was just tiny little hearts. The Hearts DSP is from the Country Floral Lane Designer Series paper pack. It's that one right there. That's what I used. And then from the annual catalog, the In Color Matte Decorative Dots on page 141. Right there. The woven metallic ribbon comes in 5 different in colors. I use the Starry Sky. The embossing folder that I use comes from the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder. So if you make a qualifying purchase during a celebration
with the demonstrator that invited you to this group,
you will receive one of these items or more. So you can make as many qualifying purchases as you want during celebration. But I use the Dainty Flowers pattern paper pack. I use the very last one with that dark blue right there. All right, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. There will be 3 more posts in my hour, so make sure you check those out. Add some comments, hit the like button, and I hope you've got the Share Milkshake bundle on your shopping list now. It certainly is a fun one, all occasion one that you can create a lot of different fun cards, party favors, and scrapbooks with. All right, thanks for stamping with me, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.